Hey all, I'm Richard Burnham, also known as the Indie Lawyer, and welcome to my first video series, Lawvel 101. Probably won't be doing that again. This series is something I've been wanting to do for a while, because one of the biggest problems game developers face is navigating legal issues and getting access to legal advice. Whilst making games is a lot of fun, law isn't, and developers understandably don't want to waste development time with annoying legal issues. Unfortunately, that's quite a dangerous thing to do, given it's very easy to enter into agreements that see indie developers giving away massive revenue shares of their game or spending years developing something they aren't actually able to sell commercially because of copyright or trademark issues. Lawyers also tend to be quite expensive, I'll admit that, so this series is meant to be a crash course in everything you need to know or have in the back of your mind when making video games, and hopefully I can make law a bit interesting along the way. Maybe. When I posted the idea for this series on Reddit, I got some great feedback and a lot of traction, so I'm hoping it will assist you all in some way. I think the game development community is a great one, and I'm sure a lot of you in the past have probably helped me solve code issues as an anonymous user of some forum, so thanks for that, and this is my way really of giving back to the community in the only way that I really can, unless you want code advice from me, which you don't. So a quick bit of background about me. I'm a lawyer qualified in England and Wales. Here's the certificate they gave me to prove it. Didn't sound good. I work at a London-based firm called Lee & Thompson LLP, where I specialise in the law surrounding video games. So I'm basically a video games lawyer, which sounds completely made up, but I'll go with it. We work with a broad range of clients, from the smaller indie studios to some very big names I can't mention, and a few publishers in between. I'm also a developer myself at my company Aura Games Limited. It's a fairly small outfit which focuses completely on my own intellectual property. I'm a massive sci-fi geek, as you can probably tell from the things behind me, and my games tend to revolve around this theme. My main skill set is sort of marketing, writing stories, a little bit of artwork. So what's this series about? Well, in this series I'm going to cover a number of things, including company formation, intellectual property rights, video games tax relief, dealing with publishers, basically the things that indies need to know about when first starting out. If there's something you'd like to see specifically, then drop me a message in one of the videos and I'll try to get around to making a video on the point. I'll quickly cover what this series is not. It's not a substitute for taking proper legal advice from a lawyer on a particular issue you have. Of course, I wouldn't be a lawyer without including a disclaimer, which you can see below. I'd love to be able to say these videos will do all you'll need, but that's just not going to be the case. By all means, reach out if you've got a particular issue to discuss, but unfortunately these videos just can't beat instructing someone to look through your specific issue. They're here really to steer you in the right direction and also allow you to identify when exactly you need to reach out with law and what you need to have in the back of your mind. Worst case, if you've got a particular query, I'm usually poking around at Gamescom, GDC, Develop, so we can always arrange to have a chat then. So a couple of housekeeping points before we dive in. There are usually always exceptions when it comes to law, so get used to me saying but or there's an exception. Secondly, yes, my face does always look annoyed at resting, and no, I have no immediate plans to change that. Thirdly, I plan to put out videos fortnightly and I'll try to stick to this, but it really does depend on how busy I am with work and working on my game. I'll also be working on another series in tandem to this one that looks at fan games, because it's a great way of sort of applying the knowledge that we're learning here to real life scenarios. Fourth, I'm qualified in England and Wales, so I'll mostly focus my advice on that jurisdiction, but where possible I'm going to discuss the global position. It's not always possible with law to do that, unfortunately. Fifth, this is my first YouTube series, so let me know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Sixth, when I mention Brexit, which I'm going to kind of have to, it's going to be a lot of, well, this could happen, and this could happen, and I don't know, so apologies in advance for that, but we're a bit in the dark for the time being until someone does something, or we reach an agreement, or we leave without a deal, so apologies in advance. Also, lawyers generally don't give tax advice, so I won't be discussing these points in any great detail. We're usually aware of tax provisions, but we aren't usually allowed to give tax advice, so we'll always point you in the direction of an accountant. I'm hoping to get an accountant on at some point to discuss more tax-based issues, including video games tax relief, because I know from the Reddit post that I made, this is something indie developers want to know more about. Anyway, housekeeping done. I hope you enjoy the series. If there's anything you want in particular, drop me a note and I'll try to get around to it. I'm not very good at smiling, sorry.